Hello and welcome to Ascension Arcana Tarot. This is Christine with your weekly romance reading. This is a general reading, so as always, take what resonates and leave the rest behind. I felt called to use a deck that I have not used yet on the channel. This is the Elemental Wisdom Tarot, so I hope you guys enjoy this one. I felt like my hands were itching to use one of my decks that I don't use as much. What do my readers need to know? My readers, I always say that. What do my viewers need to know about their romance journey this week? What do my viewers need to know, God, about their romance journey this week? Our first two cards out, we have the Seven of Cups and the King of Wands. I feel like we had the Seven of Cups out in another... I always wish I could remember. I'm always like, that was in another reading, and I don't ever remember what day it was or what the title was, but this is a cool energy. This feels like a really powerful energy of having choices. So since this is a romance reading, I would assume that these are choices having to do with choosing a partner or making a choice within a relationship, or if you're not in a relationship right now, maybe making choices that will lead you to one. That's funny. I don't know why I'm noticing there's only 6 butterflies on this card, but it's the Seven of Cups. But anyways, I love the butterflies. That's a symbol for me of transformation. They're kind of like, I don't know if you can tell, they're kind of almost like translucent looking. They're like spirit butterflies. So it's making me wonder if you're going through some spiritual transformation right now, which is maybe impacting your relationships. But it's like a really, sometimes the Seven of Cups can feel like confusion or overwhelm, but all I'm getting is just this ringing energy of like how luxurious and abundant it feels to have these options that you have right now. And I feel like that's because of this king. So the King of Wands, he's fiery, he's passionate, he's creative. He's a guy who will throw himself into new beginnings. I would consider him to be like a pretty bold and forward-moving male energy. So that's pretty cool. I just love this card is like really lush. The energy of it is really lush. So very cool. Feels like you just really like being in your power and completely owning like these choices that you have in front of you, these options that you have in front of you. All right, God, what else do my viewers need to know about their romance journey this week? I feel like I fumbled, but the cards that came out on the top, I'm really feeling like are part of this reading, are the Sun and the Empress. It's so beautiful. There's the little butterflies again. It's like so sweet. There's such an... It's interesting. So these two together really feel like a very male energy to me. I think because of the king being there. And this being like a very feminine energy. I mean, she's even kind of like a mother figure, right? With a little baby over there, even though they're not on the same card together. There's like a really sweet innocence to the Sun card here that I really love. I wonder if maybe that's an energy of you like recognizing your own innocence. I shouldn't say I had the privilege of doing some healing today around a situation that came up for me. And one of the things that I had to remind myself of is that at the core, I'm innocent. That I think that would resonate for you too, in terms of like some of the spiritual healing that you're doing right now, and maybe recognizing like that delightful little inner child inside of you and kind of your own innocence just as a spirit, right? Like, we're all here on a learning journey. None of us have mastered this yet. And that's okay. It's okay to be innocent in that journey and just sort of it's like a sweet moving forward energy, like that childlike innocence, right? And like the delight. She's making a face, this little gleeful face, because she sees the butterfly. It's like so sweet, just like finding joy in little things like that. Love that. And then the Empress, she just has like this warm and inviting energy to me. All of these cards are feeling really, I don't know, maybe I'm just feeling warm and glowy. It's like reading this really warm and glowy energy off of all of them. I'm noticing she's holding like a fruit in her hand, like a pomegranate or something maybe. I don't know. I am not a fruit expert. I feel like she's representing fertility, right? And the harvest, that sort of harvest mother energy, earth mother energy. That's really beautiful. So like this powerful male sort of here in the, with all of his wonderful options. And then this really like joyful, innocent, sweet, but also really mature, feminine energy over here. That's really sweet. I'd be surprised if there's not a child involved. Like the childlike energy here is really strong for me. So I would guess there's either a woman with a child involved, or you're just doing some major inner child healing, and this is representing your inner child. So the next card that came out is the Page of Cups. It's so sweet. I love him holding out the cup. I feel like that's the universe holding out an emotional opportunity to you. Dang, man, this is like a week of good energy. I feel like, I mean, if you've been following my readings for a while, I feel like this energy is very well earned with everything that you guys have gone through and been healing through lately. It's been a lot of heavy energy in my readings the last couple weeks. I love this. So the last two cards I'm feeling called to have here on this side are the Star and the Ten of Wands. So the Star I referenced in, I think, my weekly reading this past Sunday, which I think didn't get posted until Monday, but she's a card of healing, like really sweet healing. And even with like the water here, I would read this as healing of the emotions, and especially being read with that Page of Cups, who is obviously the cup suit represents emotions, right? And he's like literally under the water. He's like a merman. So really being in your emotions and finding like a lot of really sweet healing. Like the energy of this Star card is so expansive and so clear. I referenced that expansive feeling in my last reading as well. I remember talking about feeling like your energy was moving from like almost like a point of energy to like this expansive energy, and that we had like the Ace of Wands that was kind of showing that expansion. But I feel that here. It's like the expansion has happened, and it's like really clear and beautiful and like so peaceful. I love it. This is awesome energy. And then the Ten of Wands feels like laying down that burden. So whatever this like heavy burden has been for you, healing and being able to put it down. It feels like this is interesting. I don't feel like this is a reading for someone who's single. I feel like if you are in this collective, you probably know who these figures are representing to you. It's possible that it could be for a single person. My guess is that most of you have someone in mind that you're thinking that this reading is about. I feel like my intuition is saying that you're right. This reading is about them. That's why they're on your mind. But laying down this Ten of Wands burden, that could be like literally anything that's burdening you guys, right? So if it's a person that you're in a relationship with, maybe if you guys have gone through like a little period of some trouble or something like that. It could be laying down the burden that trouble has caused, or sort of the weight of that in your relationship, right? If you're single, it could be that you kind of have found some healing there, around whoever this person represents for you, whether it's the Empress or the King of Wands. I just love this energy. It's like completely, it just feels like that divine glow up energy. And knowing that like the world, like this feeling of like the world is laid at your feet, and you are like this beautiful, peaceful, divine, powerful being who's just like radiating love. It's really awesome. If you're not in a relationship, your energy is very attractive, so don't be surprised if you start having people come in. So again, this feels like a message coming in, or yeah, I feel that's accurate, reading him as a message coming in. And that could be a message from your person. It could be a message from a friend, a family member, a message from the universe. It could be a message from a child. The sun card there, right? And the star really feels like it's around healing this burden and laying this burden down. So one of the biggest things for me that I've been working through is kind of struggling with like releasing the past. So I'm just feeling called to say, like, if that resonates for you at all, just reminding yourself that like you are who you are, and nothing that is truly you is ever really lost. So it's completely safe to let go of past burdens, past patterns. Like, it could be thought patterns of emotions. So like reacting to things in a certain way, right? Anything like that that's having you feeling like stuck or heavy, it's probably not in alignment with you if it's making you feel stuck or heavy. And it's okay to embrace that change and like lay that down. This is really interesting. It feels very specific that there's like this man, woman, and child involved in like all these incredible choices. I'm like really curious who I'm reading for right now. please feel free to leave me a comment. I am very curious. So my next question, as usual, is what is your advice for my viewers? And the first card to come out is the Six of Cups. I love she's like a mermaid too. I wonder if they're all like this. She just looks so joyful in this one. This is really sweet. It's kind of a different vibe than the traditional tarot. So in the traditional tarot, the Six of Cups is a lot around like nostalgia and really sweet memories. And this one I'm drawn to like the two fish kind of as like a pair coming together. I don't know if that's in focus at all. The same thing with the cups too, that like that feeling of options, or these like beautiful cups here kind of overflowing with these lovely flowers, and the two fish coming together is making me feel like that sort of divine couple feeling that I was kind of getting with the King and the Empress up there. That's really cool. So this could potentially be a person from your past. And if they're not specifically from your past, then maybe someone that you're feeling like nostalgic about. If you're in a long-term relationship, it could be feeling like nostalgic about the old days of the relationship, or kind of how things were when you first started. What else? Other advice do you have? I think the advice for the Six of Cups is just to let it be sweet. Like the energy of that card is so sweet, and it's like an innocent feeling too. It's really vibing off that Sun card and the innocent, that sweet innocence of the Sun card for me. So either healing into that vibration or just choosing to allow it in. Here's the Page of Wands. It's funny that we have the King and the Page. So the Page of, and we have two pages. We have the Page of Cups and the Page of Wands. The Page of Wands is kind of like the Fool, like a similar to the Fool energy, but in the minor arcana, where he's a little impulsive and he's an explorer, and he's not the guy who's gonna plan something out all day. That's gonna be the Knight of Pentacles. The Page of Wands probably doesn't have a plan. He just gets an impulse, has an idea, says like, wow, that would be a cool adventure. He's definitely an adventurer card, and he just goes for it. He's a pretty brave guy. So that's interesting. It's a very different energy than the Six of Cups. So while she's like really sweet and nostalgic, he is really brave and like forward moving. It makes me wonder if there's something that you're feeling nostalgic about that maybe you need to take some action on in real life. So let me think of an example. Like, let's say you're in a long-term relationship, and this is just like one way that this energy could play out. But let's say you're in a long-term relationship and you're kind of feeling like feels a little dull, or it's lost some magic or whatever. You're feeling nostalgic for like the old days where you guys kind of like swept each other off your feet or whatever, right? The Page of Wands could be asking you to say to yourself, like, what were those things that made it feel that way for you? What can you do to sort of reignite like that spark, right? So maybe you used to go on picnics together, or maybe you loved like going on a drive together or something. And he would be the energy of actually making that happen like pretty spontaneously in real life. This would be the energy of you coming home from work one day with like, you know, a little bag of groceries and being like, hey, let's go for a picnic. And your partner would be like, what? And just be like totally unexpected. But then you guys would go off and like have a sweet time. The Four of Swords came out next. It's an energy of rest and healing. So that's really interesting. It's kind of similar in a way for me to the Star. Although like it kind of looks a little creepier because of the swords, but they're not actually in her. They're hanging on the wall behind her. Almost feels like protection, actually. Healing. Give me clarity on that one. What are my viewers healing? Let's get some clarity on the Four of Swords. What are they healing, God? Whoa, that was very chatty. 3 cards just spring right out. I'm going to read this reversed. It popped out reversed. So sometimes I just pull like a general third row for more energy, but right now I'm specifically clarifying this Four of Swords. So we got the Temperance card. We got the Five of Wands in reverse, and we have the Seven of Coins. So what's coming to me is the King of Wands. One of his aspects is that he can be like a bit of a hothead, basically. He's a guy who might be like quick to anger. I should just say just like an energy in general of being quick to anger, being quick to get kind of like riled up, maybe being a little reactive. And the Four of Swords is so opposite of that energy. Like even the colors are opposite, but the Temperance card talks all about patience and balance. I mean, you can even see like how serene the energy is of this card. And you can see she kind of has like one hand up, one hand down. Half of her is in like this lit up forest. Half of her is in like a dark forest. I'm guessing those are maybe fireflies in the trees around her. So she sort of is like a bridge, or a creating a balance between like light and dark, up and down, black and white. It's the energy kind of the alchemist. That's sometimes how I read the Temperance card. Five of Wands in reverse. So this card can be about kind of squabbles, fighting. It's kind of like it's not like a very strong energy, but it's also not a very comfortable or kind energy. It's combative. It's someone who might feel defensive or be like quick to anger, quick to judge, kind of like the King of Wands can be sometimes, but it was in reverse, which would be showing me that that's what's healing. So if that's resonating at all, if you're having like some conflicts, some squabbles, in regards to whatever this resonates for you. I mean, you know, in a relationship, it could be the relationship. Maybe if you're not in a relationship and you're looking for one, maybe you're kind of like having some conflicts or arguments within yourself. And then the 7 of coins, the only word that's coming to me with this one is patience and maybe a little bit of hope. In the traditional tarot, this is the card where there's like a man kind of bent over a bush and he's checking his harvest and he's deciding if he's going to wait and let it continue to ripen or if he's going to harvest it, basically. So these two cards together around this 5 of Wands is showing me, and again, since this is clarifying the 4 of Swords, so this is what you're healing. You're healing this energy of kind of like this hot-headed conflict energy by learning balance and patience. So in terms of advice from the universe, if there is any of this conflict or hot-headed or angry energy, either within you or within your relationship dynamic, there's some big time advice here to heal around some patience and balance within you. That's like a very clear message. All right. God, do you have any other advice for my viewers this week? Is there anything else you want them to know? Yeah, they're like wicked chatty. It's so interesting. So we just got the Queen of Wands, the 9 of Swords, and the 8 of Wands. There's like a lot of fire energy. I'm not like an astrology expert. I know a little bit about stuff. But it's making me wonder if there's like something, like maybe there's a bunch of planets in like fire signs right now or something, because we have the King of Wands, we have the 10 of Wands, we have the Queen of Wands, the 8 of Wands, the Page of Wands, and the 5 of Wands. That's like a lot of Wands cards here on the table. So again, that kind of passionate and fiery energy, it's the energy of creation, creativity, and then again, kind of the, maybe a challenge that the Wands face is that sort of being quick to react or maybe a bit quick to temper. The Queen of Wands, I love her. She's just bold and she's like really fierce. She's confident, she's outgoing, she's social. She's like a really, really strong woman. She's a very influential woman. I'm just digging her vibe. She's a woman who knows her value. I think that's what I like about her right now. The 9 of Swords is interesting because I don't imagine that's an energy that the Queen of Wands is usually in. This is an energy basically of worrying about nothing. Kind of just being overwhelmed and in an anxiety cycle. And I love that the 8 of Wands came after that because I feel like the energy of this card is moving away from that. So I guess to go back to my example, right, of let's say you're in like a long-term relationship and there's been like a bit of conflict here and that's part of what's going on. It's showing that maybe that's troubling you, right? It's not feeling peaceful. It's something that maybe is keeping you up at night or causing you to worry about your relationship. But the 8 of Wands, they're always it's a card of movement, of incoming communication, of change. It's kind of a vibe of like the Wheel of Fortune, but in the minor arcana. So like changes coming, communication incoming, forward movement, action. The wands are like flying across the sky, right? And in this one, it's actually like on fire behind it, which is kind of awesome. So it's showing me you being able to move out of this energy like really quickly and kind of, the word I just heard is like escape velocity. Like there's enough sort of rocket power behind these wands that you can kind of like heal whatever this is that's worrying you and kind of really get some good distance from it. So I love that. And I feel like the part of the advice too is to take the Four of Swords seriously and not just blow past it. So this is something that my friend and I talked about the other day, is the concept of like spiritual bypassing, where you want to make sure that you're feeling your feelings and dealing with them and not just escaping from them, right? So taking this Four of Swords really seriously, taking that time to contemplate, to meditate, to really kind of figure out for you what it looks like to develop that balance and that patience that the universe is calling you to have in your relationship. This is really cool. All right, I have the Starseed Oracle, so pull a couple Oracle cards for you. And then we'll be all set. All right, what cards do my viewers need for their romance journey this week, guy? What cards do my viewers need for their romance journey? This one just volunteered. We have the 7 Star Sisters, Birthing Creations, Tapestry of Life Expression. That's really beautiful. So the 7 Sisters is the Pleiades. That's actually really weird. So I don't know if this is really common knowledge. I feel like a nerd that I'm going to say this, but the Subaru symbol on the back of a Subaru, that's actually the Japanese word for the Pleiades. I think it only shows 6 of the 7 stars on the Subaru logo, but that's what it means. It's talking about the Pleiades. The Pleiades is a star cluster that's part of the Orion story in the sky. So basically you have the Pleiades in the front, and then Taurus, the bull, the constellation, is after them. So the bull is like chasing the 7 sisters. And then Orion, which is like one of the most famous constellations in the Northern Hemisphere, right? He's pursuing the bull in order to rescue the sisters. And then you can see, what's his name? I forget. I just know Sirius, the dog star. So Sirius, is it Canis Major? Might be Canis Major, is following Orion because that's his hunting dog. So they're like, that's like my favorite star story in the whole sky. And I feel like the stars here are reminding me of, I really do think these are probably fireflies in the forest, but it's this like similar energy here of the Temperance card. I like that. It feels that like that energy of like light beings kind of supporting you guys through this healing. This feels like one of those messages where you could reach out to the universe for help and, you know, say to God, your angels, your guides, your guardians, your ancestors, whoever you want to call upon, ask them to help you heal this pattern and develop that sense of balance and peace and patience in your relationships. It's like the most beautiful energy, you guys. I feel like this is what you're healing into. And the 10 of Wands card is more like what this advice is about. Because that's the burden. Everything else about this side here on the left side, which is usually, for me, it's like the situation, right? Or the problem. The only thing that's problematic about it is the 10 of Wands. And I very much get the energy that this is a burden that you're putting down and resolving anyways. So it's like not that problematic. And then this is the advice that I'm getting kind of around solving that problem. But this energy is so strong and it's so divine. I feel like whoever I'm reading for is already in a really good place. Whether that's, you know, physically in a relationship or if it's just being in a good and peaceful place and powerful place within yourself. This is definitely like a leveled up, really divine energy. Do you have any other cards for my viewers today? Just told me to take an angel number card, so we'll grab that one right quick. It's funny that I thought to mention Subaru. Subarus have come up like multiple times today, and that's not usually like a thing that I care about or focus on. So I don't know if that will resonate for any of you guys, but I felt called to mention it, as well as all the whole constellation story. What card do you have for my viewers today? Sweet. The 0440, the gut feeling. Intuition, betrayal, pessimism, relating, value, insight, increased perception, love, monogamy. Follow your gut. It's more than just a feeling. Be real with people and focus on meaningful relationships. Remember, you also must bring value to the table. Treat others with respect, or else karma will bite your butt. 3 is a crowd. That is funny. I'm feeling how that's relating to this. Insight, perception, monogamy. I mean, I wasn't getting any third-party energy from the rest of this. Unless, I wonder, this could resonate for some of you, but if you have kids, like if you're, for example, like if you're married or even if you're dating and like one or both of you have kids, it is a sign that mom and dad need some time together without the kids. So like being awesome at being parents together is great, but there's a need for this collective to make sure that you're putting aside some time for like your romance with your partner, right? And that it's not just about the family, it's also about the two of you. Be real with people. I feel like this is more about being real with yourself. Whatever this 5 of Wands energy is, yeah, like if there's conflict in your relationship, I love talking about things. So my personal opinion, and do what resonates for you. But if this was me, I would be talking about whatever this is with my partner, right? Whatever this kind of dynamic is. But I think getting real and getting clear with yourself first, because the energy of this 4 of Swords is she's processing everything internally. So she's not going to come at her partner in like a hyped up state or an upset state. She's going to get clear and she's going to come to her partner in a pretty calm state. And be able to just calmly and logically like discuss what's going on. So I feel like that's the best course of action here. Yeah, that feels really clear to me. This is a beautiful energy. I like, as always, I would love to know if this resonates for you guys and how it does. Yeah, it's really lovely. It feels to me like someone completely stepping into their divinity and their self-worth, and just really recognizing like the world is your oyster kind of energy. Like you have the power to create your reality, and like all the options that are open to you are so beautiful. So thank you very much for joining me here. Please like, share, subscribe, leave a comment if you wish, as all of those things help me as I'm growing my channel. And I hope to see you on Sunday in my next weekly reading. Bye.